3, 2, 1. Welcome to the 225 podcast with your host, Noah Ray, Andrew Cargill, and me, Matthew Alizati.
He's tired. We need caffeine. Just kidding.
Wow. Right into it.
No, but we've had a good week. I feel like we haven't filmed in forever.
We filmed 2 episodes last Tuesday.
Yeah.
So it's been a week since we filmed.
Yeah. Also, I've been out of town. Y'all have been super busy this weekend. So we have a lot to catch up on this weekend. Got a lot of PRs to hit this week. But I will kind of jump right into it. This week, this is shout out to Aiden because me, him, and Matthew go back and forth on the best ghost flavors, everything like that. It's pretty funny. And I've heard that the orange cream ghost he said was really good. Matthew said it's all right. I think he said it's all right. I remember drinking them like 2 years ago and them being not good. Although I love orange cream flavored things. It's like my favorite. That's one of my favorites for sure. And I just remember them always tasting different. Some of them are super heavy on the orange. Some of them are super heavy on the cream. But without further ado, we have the Ghost Orange Cream energy drink.
Give it to them.
Yeah.
All the deer.
So 10 calories, as well as Ghost always comes through with the coolest can designs.
So this is our first Ghost on the podcast.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's why I wanted to wait.
I thought we had done a few.
No.
Oh.
I want to do an all Ghost podcast.
Oh, we can still do that, though.
So we're going to do that one day. But Orange Cream Ghost. Can, superb.
Valid.
Ghost has the best cans.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we did Phase Pop.
Yeah, I'm about to say, we have done Ghost.
That's only one. But anyway.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
All right, into the mouth.
Nice.
One sip. I mean, I had one on Saturday, so.
Does it taste the same?
Yeah.
A little more creamy. Dreamsicle-y than like a rain.
So.
Really?
My opinion, yeah.
I haven't had an orange dreamsicle right in a long time, actually.
I haven't either, but
I had a rainbow sherbet a few days ago, though. Actually, yesterday.
I had a white gummy bear this week and it wasn't as good.
Yeah, it's overrated. White gummy bear's overrated.
So.
Not a hot take, it's just valid.
So what are we getting here? Carbonation's low. I am getting a little bit more cream.
Really?
I like it.
I think the carbonation is not as high as what I've normally had with Ghosts. From what I'm getting, my carbonation is not super high. I'm getting a lot of decent bit of cream, a little bit of orange, a little vanilla. Yeah, I mean that's actually really good. I remember that being a lot worse. They may have changed their formula. I don't know. I had it like 2 years ago, and I thought it was terrible. That's a solid, and it's not cherry limeade, it's not citrus, but like that may be, third or fourth place for me.
I enjoy it for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a solid drink. I think Ghost foundation is perfect.
Okay.
The foundation of each Ghost flavor to me is really good. I think then what they build on it is where it becomes good or bad.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a solid 8.
Yeah. Okay.
It's not
I'd have
crazy.
to put it somewhere around there. I'm gonna say I don't know if it's an 8.
Like I will buy
That's
this.
pretty good. Let me get another sip.
I bought one this weekend out of my own desire, and I just drank it because I thought it was good. So I don't know. Use that with
I'm gonna give that an 8 too.
I'll be honest, it's solid. I mean, you aren't going to go wrong with orange cream school. To be honest, it's really hard to mess that up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's good. Like, I'm happy with that. You're never going to be disappointed with the Ghost thing. I'm going to give like the 7.4 though. I mean,
That's a good score. I think I wish there was a little more orange in there.
Yep.
And I think I have this a lot with Ghosts is like you said, there's a good foundation, but how they go about the flavors. Like the cherry lime is really chevy. Chevy. The cherry lime is very, I think, from what I've tasted, very cherry heavy. I wish there may have been just a little bit more lime in there. The citrus, I think, is perfect. Mm-hmm. The citrus, like when I think of citrus, the cherry lime or oh my gosh,
it's okay.
The Ghost hits that perfectly. Yeah. Like Face Pop, I think there should be more flavors involved in there.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think one thing that Ghost does is, like, if there's two different flavors, they're heavy on one of them and not as heavy on the other, where I wish there was more of a mix.
Yeah.
A single thing.
I think their cherry limeade has the best cherry lime ratio out. I think it could be better.
Yeah.
But I think everything else has just been cherry.
I think just going off of that, the first form again that's my favorite.
That was good.
That's my
crazy.
favorite. And as far as cherry lime, I think it's
No,
better
that's
than,
solid.
Ghost one tenfold. Like, I'll be honest, I think it's just,
I could see that.
that's like, now I'm thinking of it, I'm like, this one is, I don't think I've ever had any drink like that caliber.
Yeah.
Like, it's just
Okay. Are we dethroning Ghost Cherry Lemonade?
No.
I mean, I've never said it's my top. I've never.
I'll be honest.
I think it's slightly overrated.
What's your top?
I think the grill in mine is.
That's crazy.
No.
I'm not saying it's
That's weird. It tastes. Go get a fairy. Or,
Fantastic.
oh my gosh, I cannot talk today. A Fanta.
You know, collect yourself.
Yeah, I'm all.
I'm not saying here's why it's not yet though. I think it has the best flavor, but in the overall score, cherry limeade beats it.
Also, remember you've only had grilled mine once, and you.
Yeah, I know. You've only had first form once,
Yeah, and I will still say that's the best thing ever.
so you can't come at me.
No,
That's
I
so
can't.
hypocritical. You come at me saying you've only had this
the
drink
only
once.
reason I'm saying that is because of how often you have cherry limeade. Like,
Oh, yeah.
That is
That's the
true.
only
It's not going to
reason I
hit
like
as
them.
good as the first
Right.
time.
That's my
the
only
first
reason.
time.
Bro, I about fell on the floor of the Quick Trip parking lot.
Man,
I fell
almost
out of my
crashed
car.
the car, dude. No, but I think in terms of like best accessibility, best taste, best like.
I think Ghost
counter-
across the board is the best brand.
I agree. I'll be honest. C-Bomb posted that.
I didn't vote.
I voted for Ghost.
Wow, I didn't vote at all because I was like, I can't be torn.
You used his link and then voted for a different brand.
I like Chris
That's
Bumstead, like obviously way more, but the whole Ghost, their energy drinks are so good. Like
Yeah,
the C-Bomb, I think the C-Bomb energy drinks are interesting because it's the first of its kind. It is
More
a
of a cool
low
thing.
caffeine, super low caffeine.
It's a sipper.
And it's a smaller 12-ounce can, but the short can. No, but it's not a thin
No,
can.
but I just at where I'm at in my life right now. This guy
Oh.
is Snapchatting right now.
Sorry.
Pookie, get out of here.
Where I'm at in my life right now, I don't want a 12-ounce can. I want a big 16-ounce sippable drink.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, Come on, bring it in. Bring it in. I don't have time to take 2 sips and be done. I want to enjoy it. And let me tell you,
Mine's almost gone.
my caffeine tolerance is horrid right now.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'm at like 600 a day.
That's terrible.
That's
You had 3. What? You on Saturday? Didn't you have 3 ghosts?
Okay, I was up at 4.
I don't care. In
That's-
24 hours, drinking 3 ghosts.
My last ghost was at 3. I feel like that's valid.
like, just-
In under 12 hours, you had 3 energy drinks.
that's cute.
Yeah. Also,
I'm good on my.
No, Drew
What?
sent us a Snapchat
Oh.
at 3 a.m. a few days ago.
No, it was
With
this one was
a
midnight.
monster.
That was midnight. I
Yeah,
up
that was
until-
crazy. So I went and saw the new Guardians of the Galaxy movie. It was solid, entertaining. Wouldn't watch it again. But
Best for Phase 4.
yeah, best one in Phase 4. Drew, I get home. Drew goes, "You want to get a monster with me?" Which like it's 11. I already have my blue light glasses on, which means I've started my nighttime routine. I'm like, Drew, I'll go with you, but I'm not buying a monster. And then this is crude. I'm gonna out you right here.
This is the.
So Drew goes, I can't lie, Matthew. I'm like, what? He's like, you see these little like burritos here? I'm like, yeah. He goes, when I used to work at One Life, I'd come to QT after, buy 3 of them and a monster at 11, 12 at night. Microwave them, eat them in his car. Bro, it's 2,500 calories. That was my daily cutting intake.
That's
Right
terrible.
after One Life, like we do closing or something, and there's a Quick Trip right next to us, and I'd be like, I'm not gonna cook something, or like I'd have a lot of work to do that night.
That was
All right.
before he started.
Yeah,
as
this is
nutrition.
before I was with Nutrition Noah, and it was I just needed food and like calories in my body, so I'd get 3 of the gas station A-bomb burritos, and each one's like $8.40 or something like that.
That's crazy.
And Not my proudest moments in life.
But I think all of us have moments like that.
Yeah.
Though. I can remember a few vivid
delicious.
times where like I have eaten like McDonald's in my car at like midnight and just like sat there. The meme that you always post is so funny. It's like the yeah, it's like you just sit there. You're just eating at like midnight by yourself. No one's there. No music. No phone. You're just
pretty
sitting
depressing.
there.
When my parents used to go out of town on the weekends, I would go to like the store, buy a family pack of individual Reese's and a 24 pack of Diet Coke. And that's all I'd have the whole weekend.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. And maybe like
Solid.
3 Gatorade bars.
Yum.
Dude, those things are candy.
Terrible.
So bad for you, but so
We had
good.
so our school and my high school was sponsored by Gatorade. Our teams were. So we had Gatorade protein powder and protein bars. And after every single workout,
Mhm.
yeah.
Proprietary.
After every single workout, our coaches would force us to do like 2.5 scoops
That's
of protein,
crazy.
a protein bar with water, and we had to like drink it like before we left. They were like, you have to like eat and drink.
Our big
this, like,
thing
right
was
now.
like we got a muscle milk fridge and you could pay for muscle milk.
Yeah.
Really? Ours were
Yeah.
free. It was great because like Gatorade would just send us stuff, but like it was terrible. And the protein bars were terrible. And also they'd send us like these stock loads of like too much stuff. So we'd have them and they'd like forget about boxes in the attic in the gym. And so we'd get a protein bar that expired like a year ago.
That's crazy.
And they'd be like, you still have to eat.
You still got
Expiration dates are a
I was
choice.
like, what?
Being
But
affected
yeah.
by caffeine is a choice as well as expiration.
I'm suddenly feeling a lot better.
Yeah, my headache's gone. I'm talking more clearly. I mean,
Wow,
the benefits
that's
of
crazy.
this are insane.
The carbon, I take it for the alpha GPC. Nothing else.
Not the caffeine.
All right, this week in training, ladies and gentlemen, we've had a lot of training to cover because
I've not done anything.
you hit your bench last week. Your bench
Uh-oh.
triple.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go quick because it's the only thing. I hit 375 for 3 pretty casually.
You catch
I have a single on Thursday, hoping for like 402, maybe 407. Not sure.
Maybe go crazy before 13. Maybe get a small PR.
Maybe hit a PR. It's supposed to be at like an 8.5, so we'll see. But yeah, squatted yesterday, felt terrible. Have a deadlift double today, hoping for like 6 something.
Well, you
Friday.
were out of town all week. You drove like 28 hours,
Yeah.
and he was pissed off he couldn't hit 540 for 4, 550 for 4 again. And I'm like, dude, you literally haven't slept an hour.
Yeah.
Bro's
So yeah,
John
I
Wick
ran
over
off
here.
like we had like no sleep, no nothing. I went through a like a safety course for myself, my girlfriend, and her sister, and her uncle. Just did some stuff like that. So did that. It was like 9 hours a day. The 3 days we stayed in like a little cabin. Bed was uncomfortable. So
How were
like
your feet the whole time?
I wore my boots, so they were fine.
So you were fine.
Yeah.
Did you wear the compression socks?
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about?
I don't know how you don't like compression socks. That's such an interesting like. That's like the one recovery thing that's like medically backed, and they're like done research, done studies, how to prevent varicose veins,
Creatine?
prevent stuff like that. No, I mean like of the whole recovery thing, compression socks. So there's socks that come up to down here, and basically when you're
I
talking,
mean, up here.
yeah, I mean up here,
You
whatever.
wear them from top.
When you're
Yeah.
when you're walking around, obviously your blood circulation for some people, especially bigger people, it's hard for blood to circulate from the bottom of your foot back up to your heart. So basically wearing compression socks is going to prevent that blood buildup from the bottom of your leg up. So it can prevent varicose veins, which is something you need to be worried about because you already have veins coming out on your shins.
Yeah, you're
Um,
gonna die in 3
So
years.
no, I mean, it's
You
not
have
a deadly
24
thing.
You have
hours.
24 hours.
It's not like a deadly thing, but it is something that can be easily like, you know,
I would do
it can-
anything
yeah.
for veins.
well, they're bad. Varicose veins are not good. It's like
Oh,
what
yeah.
old people have. When you get older, a lot of the times they come up, but compression socks can help with that. But anyway,
Anyways.
I wore compression socks with boots and everything. I had long pants on, so you can't see them. But yeah, did that. 9 hours is outside a lot of the time. Didn't sleep well or long at all. So then we had a 9-hour class. And then I had to drive 7 hours to get back home. Got back at 1 a.m. Slept for like 5 hours. Went to work for 8 hours, 9 hours, and then tried to squat. Then tried to squat, and it didn't go so well. But I hit 518 for 2 sets of 2 or 4. 2 sets of 4, and then 485 for a few sets. So it was fine. I have a squat single on Saturday. I'm hoping to hit 6 for the first time. So yeah,
Sorry.
we'll see. But yeah, it's pretty chill.
You had a better week. Well, I mean,
You did. You have a PR.
Was it? I think second half last week was just kind of crappy. Just got it over with. It was just kind of light stuff. And this week I'm officially 10 days out today. I guess when this is out, 9 days out. And so yesterday we had 75%.
Well, if you're watching this on Thursday, it'll be 8 days out.
Well, and if you're watching it on Friday, it'll be 7 days out. And if you're watching on Saturday, it'll be 6 days out.
Yeah.
So, and you can keep on going.
If you watch it like 2 months from now, it'll be like a month and a half ago. Anyways, so I've got like 75% for singles. I did 418 for like 3 singles on squat.
Basically, bro's going to squat 6.
I mean, I wouldn't complain. But I don't know if y'all saw my first 2 sets. It was bad. Like, it was super slow. It was crappy. Like, genuinely, for like what it was bad. Then the third rep finally got together, so I was happy about that. And yeah, I think I've got the same thing this week. Or tomorrow, like 75%, probably like 500 single on deadlift, and then probably like 340 for a single on bench press, if I had to guess. But
Fair.
yeah. So light week, we are tapering. We're tapering for nationals.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
And bro's going to try and slide with Joy.
Enjoy.
So.
No worries. You think you got
Bro is
him?
rizzing up.
I'm the one that's coming up.
Bro's going to get the beard trim.
She's liking my IG.
That's cool.
Not you.
She just I haven't posted.
Yeah, he doesn't post.
Let me explain.
I think that video is like 2 months old too. The one that.
Yeah, but that was a solid video.
That was a good video.
What video?
My Darth Vader.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm in my content era.
It's okay. She couldn't tell me.
Yeah, someone asked me if it was 6. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, you just shake it. Yeah, what is that?
No, it wasn't.
That's something.
It was 8, and he goes, was that 6? I go, brother, I wish.
But based off of how yesterday.
Okay, so this week in training, dude, training has been amazing. What's crazy, I make everything so like deep, but I'm like, I remember I feel like I watch people and I'm like, dude, they're back to back hitting PRs. Like that's never gonna happen, and like that's where I'm at right now in training. And I know it's just for a season.
Yeah, it'll stop. For me, it did too.
But it was just,
and then it's really depressing.
It's just really cool to go through. Well, I've been in the depressing bit for 2 years, and now I'm starting to do well. But training's been great. Last week I hit, I think, some volume PRs of 485, 44 for a couple sets of 3 on deadlift. So that was nice. Just SSB squats, which those are great. And then
SSB squats are so bad.
This is a 10 kilo rep PR on bench, but it was 220 for like 3 sets of 5 with 1 board, which is a mouthful. But I remember when we were setting up ladies, I think I was doing like 195.
Mm-hmm. And it was like a struggle.
Yeah, so bench has been clicking.
That's
yesterday,
fun.
So
yeah,
I'll set this up. Sunday night, I was going to bed. This weekend was the Atlanta Open and the high school state meet. Drew and I helped him in his company set up the meet. I handled one of our teammates, Austin, 9 for 9 day, awesome, on Saturday. Sunday, I also worked on Saturday. Sunday, I broke down the meet, went to high school states, whatever. Come home after a super just long day. I'm about to go to bed. We did have a cute dinner date. I took him to my favorite Indian restaurant. He loved it.
Oh, y'all went?
Yeah, it was really good.
It was pretty good. I'm good.
Anyway, so seconds before I put my phone.
Wow. It did not appreciate
All right. But seconds before I put my phone away for bed, I see like Coach Holcomb program the new session for my Train Heroic app, and I click it, and I see RPE deadlift single. And my heart literally just started like beating.
We got a text at like 10:30 at night.
Yeah, I was like, I have a single. Yeah, it was. I was like, I have a single tomorrow. And I didn't really know what I was going to hit. I just had planned my warm-ups and was going to see where things went. Deadlift's been cruising, but I also knew I had like the longest weekend ever. So I wasn't.
Yeah, the fact that you did that after that weekend.
And
was
at the RPE I did it at.
Yeah, that was insane.
So shout out 110%. Strawberry lemonade.
Strawberry lemonade.
Took that pre of the gods, nectar of the gods. So yeah, hit 1 red, 2 red, 2 reds blue, 402, 463, jumped to 5. 5 moved really quickly. And I've been like repping 5, so I knew that was gonna be easy. And then I jumped to 528 and I hit it and it just flew. My lockout was a little iffy, but that's okay. Off the floor was crazy. So it was a 5-pound PR from States, but like
RPE.
Yeah, calling that a PR as much as it was, I knew weight I've never lifted before. Corinne was like, so why was that a PR? She's like, it didn't look like one.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's because it's weight I never lifted, but you know. So Becky said, let's just save it for this week, be happy with that number, and we'll do something next week. So I don't know, I'm hoping by the end of this singles block, we don't really do blocks, so I don't really know what
super
the future is.
how her coaching.
But hoping by the end of this time, I'm at that 550 range, which if I am, it means 6 is there by the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's going to be up there.
So if I can pull
Close, for
6 by the end of this year at 181, 182, that'd be pretty cool. But
I cannot wait for that day. I'm going to be doing ammonia just to hype you up.
yeah, I know.
Because I think it's like, if y'all do like testing or something for you not to do 6, just so it's the first time on the platform.
Well, so
Yeah.
we're planning my meet because we just texted it because she didn't have time to call. No, I'm just kidding. She's a busy mom. So
Yeah, mom of 2, has a full-time job, coaches like 10 people, 15 people.
Didn't have time to call me. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
So we were texting about it, and I was like, do you think I'll have like the QT by qualifying total? She's like, yeah, I think you can hit it sub-maximal at December. So like, I was like, okay. I like
What do you
that.
have to? What are your goals to hit to qualify for CNETs?
Well, it's 1320, but like I feel like 1320 is not an RPE 10 day by December. So I think what we're gonna do is, what'd you say?
I'd hope so. You think you'll be fine? What are you at now?
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, right now I'm at 1222, but I haven't,
Yeah.
So if that's the plan, that makes me really excited because then it's gonna be hit a sub-maximal day, so I don't really overextend myself until the platform on CNETs. Come in like 43rd, but like still have my best day.
Yeah, but still have a good meet.
So,
like,
like-
I would rather have like I don't know.
I think I'll have 1400. Like I can confidently say if I don't get injured, knock on wood, I'll have 14 rushing nuts.
Wow, for the people that are just listening, y'all have no idea what just happened, but you're never gonna know.
Anyway,
Just watch it.
so
Yeah,
let's-
imagine me.
let's
I'm
get
joking.
to our main topic.
So, well, like, let's do a little recap. Y'all did the Atlanta
Can we recap
Open.
the Atlanta Open?
Yeah. we can.
So y'all did the Atlanta Open. I was so upset that I couldn't go. Because I had been planning this trip to Cincinnati for the safety course for like 4 months, but 4 months ago I had forgotten at this point. So then like I'd already told people I would handle them, so I felt really bad because then this trip came up and I was like, crap, I've been planning this trip for a long time. So obviously I had to go. But like Carson, one of the guys I was going to handle, had for him probably as perfect of a meet as you could possibly have from what I've heard and what he's told me. He squatted 578, I'm pretty sure, benched 353, and deadlifted 671.
Two.
672. So he beat me to the 300 kg deadlift, which is fine. I'll give it to him.
Well, that was like one kid. He squatted 319 point something, and I was like, "Oh, did you squat 318?" He goes, "No, 319." I was like,
Okay.
pal.
Hey, I squat or do a lift something. You give me every pound.
No. Like Corinne yesterday with those 1 pound. That was so funny.
Did she ask to have this?
Yeah.
That's funny.
But yeah, like Carson had a fantastic meet. I know you handled Austin. I'll let you talk about that, but he had a great meet. Megan, what seemed like, had an awesome meet. I saw her final deadlift. That was like insane.
Megan had a funny meet.
Megan had fun.
Yeah, I want you to do a recap on her because I've talked to her a little bit about it. But yeah, a lot. Casey Roboth like really showed out from the pictures that I saw from an outsider perspective that wasn't there. I saw, Casey Rival was reposting people left and right. People were tagging us left and right. Like, we had a lot of people there, made a really big presence. So yeah, it was awesome, and I wish I could have went. And then at the state high school championships, Aiden did awesome. Had a fantastic meet. He's one of our up and coming freshmen that's going to be at Kennesaw next year.
Grant. I have to shout him.
Grant did good. Yep. So a lot of our even up and coming people did really good. Aiden is 17 and is going to be deadlifting 6+ really soon. He attempted 6 at states and got it up to like literally mid thigh. We couldn't lock it out, but we have some really up and coming, really powerful, awesome lifters coming up. So we're super excited for that. So yeah, super awesome day. I watched when I could, but I'll hand it off to y'all because I know y'all were actually there the whole time.
First off, probably the best Georgia meet, USAPL.
This is the most hyped
thus far.
It's the biggest meet in Georgia, I'd say. Obviously,
States was number-wise, but in terms of like hype and
I don't know it's one everyone looks forward to.
There was some
how well known it was. So they did like a primetime session, which was just like all the people in Georgia with the highest odds got invited. A couple over 500.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
Certain people,
Big dots,
big
big
names.
names.
Right?
Yeah.
Big dots, big names. But
Did Kyle get invited?
No.
I don't think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. So that was pretty exciting. But for me, I handled Austin, and that was a last minute decision. Austin is coached by Drew's coach, James Townsend.
Does he watch? That would shock me.
James will never be on a podcast nor listen to one.
He's been on a bunch of them.
Oh, Austin said he wouldn't, but
He probably wouldn't, but he has in the past.
Austin was like, "You're not getting him on the Powerlifting America podcast." Yeah. But anyway, so like, I knew handling Austin was gonna be extremely easy because James has the perfect meet day plan written. So I was like, I'm not worried. But Austin would. I also am a state ref, and I did weigh-ins, and I happened to weigh Austin in, and he weighed like 99.8.
Yeah.
I was like, if you breathed the wrong way, you would go over. I had one guy. I don't know if I can say these things, but it's okay. I had one guy who,
as long as you don't say their name.
Yeah, he was 100.15, and I was like, you've got 2 options. You can come back at right before 8 and reweigh in.
Oh no, it was 8.
Yeah, or if you want to strip down, you can weigh in.
Yeah.
But I was like, I really recommend you go spit in a cup, and next thing I know, his undies are off.
I don't actually.
And he weighed in at 100 on the dot.
I don't think you're allowed to take off your underwear.
So like, it's weird. I've
haven't heard you can.
I know, and it's weird. I keep hearing different things. It's like obviously, if they're a minor, they can't.
Yeah,
under 14, you can't.
Okay.
So
really,
you have to have someone in there with you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, that's crazy.
You're
that
15,
can't be allowed.
16, you can
like
weigh in
14,
alone.
But I couldn't remember.
Minor,
if it's anybody or everybody.
I think anyone over 18 can weigh in naked.
Yeah.
You're saying so a 16-year-old can't weigh in naked?
I don't think so.
That's what I thought y'all were saying, and I was like, that's crazy. That can't be a rule. It has to be 18.
But anyway,
sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean it's whatever. No big deal. It's funny.
I've just been in that situation.
It's weigh-ins are difficult because sometimes I had a guy who weighed in for 82. I'm 82. I know what an 82 looks like. He weighed 103. And let me tell you.
103?
Yeah. I was holding in laughter. Not because he was bigger or like nothing to do with him being fat, but I'm just like, you missed the mark by 20 keys, brother. And he was like, oh, okay. And he just was like,
he did not know the conversion.
He didn't understand.
Yeah, I know. And so, not a big deal. His first.
That's crazy.
But I was just like, that's insane.
That's how you know it's somebody who hasn't competed respectfully.
Right.
It's fine. We've all been there. Yeah. Like Logan came in underweight one time.
Yeah.
Like all of us have done shit like that.
45 pounds, small.
So I told him, I was like, you've got 2 options.
Small work.
You can try to lose 45 pounds in the next hour.
Bro starts cutting all this stuff.
Or you can just be a guest lifter. But anyway, handled Austin. He was like, I feel horrible. So we did his low attempts for openers. And he's like, I feel great. So
sometimes it's mental.
From a 452 squat, he jumped above his max and did 474. And he hit it super easily. And I was super excited for him. Bench, I called him pretty well. Hit 275. His butt was coming up. And so like something I learned from Austin other Austin. I guess I went to Austin.
Big Austin.
Big Austin
Who's
benches
in South
700.
Africa right now. Shout
Good
out
luck.
to him, bitch.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's something I remember. It's just yell something else. It used to be watch the head because the head rule was. I still yelled that, and I was right next to the ref, and she wasn't looking at his butt. Yeah, and so I was like, "Watch the head, watch the head," and the ref like looked away. And
No way.
Oh yeah, this is you got to play the game.
There's games that are
So your bench we went really well, and then deadlift. He's like, my back hurts. He's like, will you apply Tiger Balm on my back? I'm like, you got that?
I'll bring
you didn't?
Tiger Balm.
Nah, man.
Really?
That's crazy.
I
would do
would
that.
but I'm like, nah, you got the Tiger Balm. And then deadlifts went well.
Pretty fake.
And at the end, he was fun to handle because like he gets really in that mindset. So he's watching like One Piece fights in between
I'm not gonna lie, dude.
every lift. And then first attempt deadlift, he tried your new salts and like the kid was crying in a pillow for like 15 minutes. That's
I don't
how
know
crazy
where
the
he got
salts
this
were.
pillow from.
Yeah, he
like,
just had a pillow,
pulled
too.
out a pillow and he's like crying, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I told him ahead. I'm like, dude, you don't be in the bottle. I'm like,
Well, he wasn't even in the bottle.
Yeah, it's
Like-
like you wafted.
Yeah.
Like most bottles say, like, all right, just hold away. This is like extend your arm and waft it towards you.
Right.
It's crazy.
But anyway, he had a good meet. He went 9 for 9. I was happy to take him there. So yeah, it was a good time.
James almost killed you. Would have killed you if he would have.
Yeah, so James,
James is terrifying. I've talked to this man once, shook his
I've
hand.
talked to him like 4 times, but like he's just terrifying, and he's
Talked to
also
him
like.
for 3 years and he scares me.
But anyway, you have a minute to call their next attempt. So I've got the meet day plan. I've lifted with Austin for almost 2 years now, so I know him as a lifter. And I called his squat at 474. 2 minutes later, he walks over and goes, "James said I should squat like 468." And I'm like, there's nothing I can do. You better hit 474 or that's my head on a platter. And he hit it. So yeah. But it was really cool meet. Did you want to talk about Megan?
Yeah, how'd Megan do?
Oh yeah. So Megan, the one I was handling and coaching for the day,
State champion, lightweight.
did a good state champion. Went 8 for 9. We missed our third bench press. Squat, we went solid. I just had the numbers up. I can't remember. 107 and a half. So 237. 237 squat, which I think is a 12-pound PR from States. So we're
That's
pretty happy
good.
with that for
Yeah.
what has happened. Bench press. We got second bench press was we went 137 on the second one. It was 5 kilos. So 126 on the bench press, which was also, I'm pretty sure, a 15-pound.
Well, you got to make a pause on the bench press. So Megan's coming down for her bench, and she's like, "Why don't I get in the press today?" She doesn't realize she's an inch above her chest. This is her second attempt. Finishes it, hits the pause, hits the press, gets 3 white lights. And so then she was super fatigued for her third, but it was the funniest thing ever because Corinne, Jackson, and I were watching and we're like, what is going on? This is like an 8-second pause.
Yeah.
But then he comes and tells us she's just like right here,
She
not
literally
touching it.
did 2 pauses, and each of them were like 2 seconds. So she had like a 4-second pause. And we got greedy on the third one, and we jumped up for the 5 Qs just because we wanted 137.
Mm-hmm.
And I should have just said 132. That's on me. But
Yeah, but
we got
and then it's 135 and you bench a plate. Like that's a cool
thing
thing.
for anything, and it's like, you know what, we're going for it. So
Yeah.
we ended up missing just you pause your second attempt for 4 seconds. You're so fatigued at that point. It is what it is. On that, but then for deadlift, big PR since States. I want to say almost 50 pounds since States, which
She hit 275.
Yeah, 275 on deadlift, which really came out of nowhere on this training cycle until she tested, which was awesome. And overall solid day. Her second deadlift, I remember it was kind of like a little iffy and stuff, and we were kind of talking about it. But then we went to the scores table and stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, give me 2 plates." I'm like, "Okay." Like,
So
I'm a big
valid.
believer on, like, meet day. Like, yes, 9 for 9, but I also believe you have to count. Like, you know what? Just put
It's
it
not
on.
that deep. If
Yeah,
you
I mean,
unless you're like
Qualifying.
I think
yeah,
it
like
really almost triggers a mental thing of like,
Yeah.
because I'm going nuts, and I've already told my coach, I'm like, no matter what, I want 725 total.
Mm-hmm.
And say if squat doesn't go great, bench doesn't go great, we're putting it on for the third deadlift. I'm like, if that's 300 keys, we're putting it on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, mentally, I know it's like, because I've made those stupid jumps before, but I think it triggers a mentality thing of like, all right, this is happening now. So I'm a big believer in just, you know what, sometimes you don't, I'm not going to say, you should always go 9 for 9. That's always a good meet, but it's just say, sometimes, you know what, forget it, just put it on the bar. And always, maybe that's not the best way to look at things. I know it's not, but sometimes I think it's just that, you know what, put it on. Let's just, it's going to trigger something mentally, and big believer in that. But overall, good day, 8 for 9.
You can never go wrong with like an 8 or 7 for 9.
Yeah, I mean, overall.
And especially if you're reaching. Like if you are doing, you're 7 for 8 on the way up, and then you YOLO a third attempt deadlift and you go 7 for 9. Like that's not a bad meet. Like you had more, but you wanted to reach that. Like for me, with Becky, I'm like, in July, I'm going to go kind of ish casual, more casual on bench. I still want to hit, 407, 413, but I'm not going to try in some like 418, 424 bench.
I can put 440.
I want to squat 6 in comp. So whether that comes from a second attempt and then I go a little higher my third, whatever. But like, I'm there to deadlift 300. Like that's what I want to do. And that's like my whole mindset going into this. So like if I, for some reason miss a third attempt squat or something like that, and I'm 7 for 8, I don't care. I'm still going to go. If I go 7 for 9, I don't care. Like, it's not like I'm trying to qualify for CNET. It's like I'll qualify way more than just with my openers.
7 for 9 is like 7 to 9 for 9 is that good meet.
Yeah, I agree.
5 to 6 is kind of like things
issues
went wrong. And then anything below 4 is like, this was not the meet.
It was not a good meet.
I mean, I've told,
but it happens.
Like my coach would say, squat and bench press. Like I trust my coach. Everything I've got is say, hey, he knows exactly what I can and can't do. Like he's never gonna put a weight on there I can't hit. And he's a big like we're gonna build our total squat and bench press. Like we won't go crazy on those and say he's gonna put something I know we can go 6 for 6 on unless it's just something stupid. And it's that's just how it is. And then it's the deadlift on there. Like all right, it's now we'll start playing those games. Third deadlifts concepts, they are play some games or put whatever we have to on for a qualifying total that we know we can do. Because squat and bench press, no point risking 5 keys when we can guarantee that 2.5, or else now I'm 7.5 keys lower. We're gonna have to compensate that later on.
And like for me, even at like at States, I wanted the 5 reds on deadlift. Like it didn't matter. Like I had went 8 for 9, had a perfect meet. And I was like, I don't care. Like I thought I had it, to be fair. I was like, oh, this is going to be easy. But like, it ended up not. But anywho, like I was still, like, I'm not upset that I missed it. I was in the beginning, but like, I'm not upset about it anymore because like I went for it, failed it. And now it's like, I'm now doing that for reps now. So like, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. I wish I could have pulled it for the first time, like in comp. That would have been cool, but it's fine. Yeah, I mean, it's.
But now we're about 300 kilos.
Yeah, so it's not a big deal, but it is super. I don't know. I think a third attempt deadlift should never be like. You should be able to have fun with it if you can. Like if you're trying to qualify for something that's a little different, but like if you want to just like Aiden. He went from like 568 to 600. Yeah. That's not the smartest jump, but like, first off, he almost had it, which kind of came out of nowhere. Yeah. Second off, like, who cares? Like, it's not that
let's
deep.
Make a transition.
Yep.
If it's your first meet, you need to go 9 for 9. So we're talking from the place of we have done multiple meets before. We're already qualifying. We're strong. We know that if it's not in the comp, it's in the gym.
You also understand your body.
Right. So for us for me throwing 550 at a time where I had 2 ripped thumbs and I knew I couldn't pull 550, that was okay. For you with 660, you're at a point where you've already going to qualify. It's not life and death. Yeah. For you, it's, I need to qualify, throw it on the bar. The reason it's an important thing is because that first 1 or 2 meets, that's the gateway drug. So, but it's also we say that as experienced powerlifters wanting other powerlifters to join the sport. But what's so important about going 9 for 9, 8 for 9 your first meet is it does something to you mentally. For me, I went 8 for 9 my very first meet, all my squats, all my deads, missed my third bench, but you're proud of it. It gives you something to where you trained for 12 to 14 weeks and you did good. And that is so important because I am capable of this. Now we kind of look at it of, I don't really care what I do. Let's be strong. Let's get as much as we can. But
have
that
goals
first
and have fun
meet
with it,
is like, wow, I'm proud of myself.
Mhm.
Like what I just did there of, I took powerlifting. I said, let me give, 8, 14 week cycle, whatever, and let me compete. And you do a good job. That's going to even if it doesn't propel you into the sport, the mental benefit that has is like, even like with my mom, I told her, I was like, Mom, we need to get you in a meet. I don't think she'll do one, but it was like, if you struggle with consistency in the gym, let's have a goal. Let's work to something.
Yeah.
Let's say my mom does do a meet, which Mom, you should.
We'll be there for you.
Yeah,
Mom,
we will.
deciding.
All of Kennesaw
We'll be
Barbell
there.
will show up. Everyone
I'll be there.
who will show up. But it's like, I'm not going to handle her and be like, let's go for,
500 deadlift?
right. I was like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to have a good meet. But anyway, so with that, we kind of, Drew and I noticed this weekend, but it's like, okay, what are the things you need for that first meet, right? So, I was very fortunate to be taken care of for my first meet with a, really good handler and coach at the time. He had Drew.
Was awesome. My first meet, I couldn't have had a better first meet.
So
Couldn't have.
in the 40 years you've been powerlifting, year and a half.
Frozen Masters.
Stefan.
That was so fun. Who
Tommy
posted that on the
posted
story?
that.
Masters lift coming out of
So-
retirement.
Masters World Cup.
In the year and a half I've been powerlifting and like the 9 months he's been powerlifting, here's how you have a first meet. So I'll kind of take it and then I'll let them run with it. But I think what's very important is have a plan, right? You need to know what your weight class is. You need to know what that is in kilos. Understand.
They talk in kilos.
Yeah.
Do not put a pound number in any powerlifting meet. You don't talk in pounds. You know what I'm saying? You don't ever do that.
So that's one. Like, understand this is an international sport. We don't speak freedom units. We speak kilos.
I like to speak America.
So for me, my weight class is 82.5, which is 182.6. I need to know that conversion. Have a scale. You don't have to weigh yourself all the time, but a month out, you should know what you weigh. Like I said, you don't want to be the guy who's 45 pounds over. No hate to him, but it can be embarrassing, right? And yeah, you also just don't know. But understand kind of how the sport works, right? What all meets should do, which they don't always do, which whatever, no hate, is understand the rules, right? When you're training, train with those rules in mind.
Mm-hmm.
So you train the way you compete. So if I train and I don't pause my bench, I'm not going to know how to pause my bench.
A rude awakening
On comp, right? Because, so I talked about this, but last October, I wasn't training pause bench and I was at a heavier weight. Now at a lower weight, training pause, I'm just beating those numbers because training pause and unpause can be 50 pounds difference.
So different.
Like a lot. So understand your rules. Don't rush the rack command. You're going to hate yourself if you do.
Yeah.
Stand there and hold the weight.
Let them rack for you.
Mm-hmm. Literally, their job is to do that.
So yeah, it's really important to have a plan coming into the meet. Know what your openers are. Have highs and lows for each attempt. One thing I'm so passionate about is your opener should be a weight that you can hit if you didn't sleep, that you can hit if you're sick, that you can hit if something is hurting, that no matter what, no matter the variables, you should be able to hit your opener. So if my max squat is, let's just say 400, I might open at 340. Because if I can hit 340 every day, all the time, I can take a second and then I can take a third. Do not open too high because that's how you bomb out.
Mm-hmm.
Meet day nutrition. I'm going to pass the torch to our nutritionist.
Also, another thing I wanted to add on into that. One thing I wanted to add on to that is something that I learned from my second meet. From my first to second meet is don't try and be someone that you're not. My second meet at States, I tried to be like this big dog. Like I hate everyone. I'm pissed off.
Well, I was pretty scared.
And because I can put that off, but that's not who I am. If whoever knows me in real life knows that I'm like super supportive, super fun, like happy a majority of the time. So like me putting myself, like, especially I'll go back to the third deadlift, even though I feel like I do that every podcast. I tried to be something that I wasn't. I do, because it was such a learning curve for me that I think like people can really learn from it. Don't try and be someone that you're not. You're going to perform better how you train in the gym. So if you take the gym kind of casually, stuff like that, don't try and be like angry, crazy, insane at the meet, because you're not going to know how to react to that.
Right.
So like train how you want your meets to go. So that's one thing that I learned from that. But
and I'll add one thing.
Yeah.
Sorry. Don't change your variables come meet day.
And Stefan told me that.
This is going to be big come nutrition, but as well as just training, right?
Yeah.
So if I warm up every session, 1 red, 2 red, 3 red, I'm not going to go to meet day and warm up 1 red, 2 red, 4 red, right? Mm-hmm. You need to train, you need to eat, you need to do everything the same you do during your prep, during meet day. Because if you even throw in a new pre-workout, your stomach might not be used to it, and you're throwing up. I may or may not be speaking from experience. But anyway.
So one thing I recommend, I always recommend to anyone that I've ever coached into a powerlifting meet is about 2 weeks out, really start getting your stuff together with nutrition. Start eating kind of the same foods. Don't try and swap up a bunch. Don't, ruin your stomach and digestive enzymes by eating, a bunch of fast food, a bunch of, stuff like that. So really about 2 weeks out is you want to start eating stuff that you're going to be eating meet day. Another thing that I do is prep a meal that you're going to eat pre-workout and try different meals. Like I remember I tried multiple different pre-workout meals, and what worked for me is just basic chicken and rice. But I've tried eating bagels, eating muffins, eating, beef, eating all that type of stuff. So what worked better for me was I had like 300 grams of rice and like 6 ounces of chicken was the first meal I ate when I weighed in. For me, my body can digest that super well, and it works super good, super fast digesting, really simple foods. So your body's not going to freak out. So like 2 weeks out, start playing around with it. Start training earlier in the morning if you're going to be in the early morning. Start eating that pre-workout meal.
If I may, adjust your sleep.
Yeah.
So sleep training is real. For a whole summer, I woke up every day at 4:30 to train. Mm-hmm. I went to bed at 8. If you are going to be needing to be at your meet at 6, don't go to bed at 10. Don't go to bed at midnight.
Yeah.
That Monday, you need to be in bed by 8.
Yeah, about a week out.
That Monday, you're not going to sleep well. Tuesday might not be the best. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you're going to have a very good night of sleep.
Yeah.
Train your sleep. Don't be going to bed at midnight, waking up at 4 for a meet and saying, I wasn't well rested. Mm-hmm. That's a variable you could have controlled.
Yeah.
And you didn't.
Yeah.
So I was staring the camera dead in the eye for that.
So another thing is, this also depends on where your weight is. I mean, if you're cutting weight, this is obviously a lot different. But for someone like my sister, what I had her do the night before, a bunch of pasta, a bunch of carbs, like eat a large, big meal. But obviously if you're cutting weight, you're going to have to like approach that a little differently. Consume foods that are easy digesting, not going to sit in your stomach. Don't have a lot of fats. I definitely recommend leaning off beef, going more towards chicken, lean turkey, stuff like that. Stuff that's not going to be sitting in your stomach. You're going to be digesting that in your sleep, and you're going to be able to lose 3 or 4 pounds, 5 pounds, even depending on how much you weigh. Also with salt manipulation and water manipulation, you want to start that about a week out. So for the first, what I've always done, and I've been pretty successful with water cutting when I've done it a few times, is you salt water load like a week out. So like for that 7, 6, 5 day out mark, you're drinking, 2 gallons of water, lots of salt, all that type of stuff. You want your body to be holding on, your water retention to be really high. So it may make you nervous because you're going to be really overweight, but just trust the process. So, and then once that starts down, you get to about that 5 day mark, cut that salt to about half, and increase that water by about half a gallon. So then I was drinking about 2.5 gallons, and
that's
about
for
half the salt.
240-pound male.
Yes, this is for a large individual. Obviously, it's different based off if you're a woman, man, weight, all that type of stuff.
I did 1.5 gallons for reference at 180.
Yeah, so it's different for everyone. I'm just telling off of experience of what I do. So then that 4 to 3 day mark, you're going to be really pushing water. You're about 2.5 gallons. That salt's still there. And then at about 3 days out, so let's say you compete on a Saturday, about Thursday, you're going to really cut that salt. So you're going to not be putting seasonings on your food. You're not going to be drinking LMNTs, stuff like that. about 3 days out. So then it's Thursday, you're not having any salt. Friday, no salt. Still going to be drinking. You're going to be going to about a gallon. So I went from 2.5 to about 1.5 gallons. And then on that, so that was Friday, went to about 1 gallon. And then that night, I had 1 gallon by, I think, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And then I stopped. So basically what's going to happen is your body's going to load up on water and you're going to be peeing every like 30 minutes. Your body's going to get so used to being fully hydrated, it's going to keep on flushing water out. So then when that water is abruptly stopped, along with the salt manipulation, your body's still going to be pushing out that water, even though water's not coming in. So you're going to be basically training your body for that whole week to get that hydration up as high as you can, your water, holding as much water. So then your body's going to start flushing that out. Mm-hmm. And then that next morning, when it comes Saturday morning, you're going to have peeing all afternoon, wake up in the middle of the night peeing, and that morning still peeing, and you're not going to have drinking any water. Obviously, it depends on how experienced you are. If you're not super experienced, have that 6 to 8 ounces throughout those next few hours.
Your first meet, try not to cut.
You don't want to do this first meet because it's way too complex. You really don't need to do that. But that's kind of how I go about water and salt manipulation. And I lost, I think, close to 10 pounds in very easily, like not having to, I wasn't hurting, didn't feel terrible. Like I lost about 8 to 10 pounds within like 4 days, even 2 or 3 days.
You want to talk about, do you ever do carb and fat manipulation?
I mean, not for powerlifting. It's not as important.
So I did that.
There's pros and cons to it, but it's a lot more effective with like bodybuilding people. But like not simplistic. For powerlifting, it's not as crucial. And I think water cutting works a lot better. Because carb manipulation, you can speak, but I think carb manipulation is a lot harder to control.
So coming from a place where I was already in a cut, tracking my calories, knowing everything I ate, adding a little bit of carb manipulation into my water cut helped me be a lot more under to where I didn't have to cut my calories going into the meet.
Yeah,
so that's coming from a point, and maybe it was useless, I don't know, but
not useless. I'm just saying I think you can lose more weight pound for pound with water than carb, but it does help. Like there's definitely a time and a place for it.
And one thing I like about it as well is like being really dehydrated going into a meet can be rough sometimes. This gave me a little bit extra wiggle room to still drink water,
for sure,
to still feel hydrated before I stepped on the platform. But it was on days I trained a little bit higher carbs. On days I didn't, I would cut those carbs and replace them with fats. And that's just another tool for the toolbox to use going into a cut. I think kind of the next point is that, do you have more nutrition stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, you're good. So then like on meet day nutrition, I think is like, if you don't understand meet day nutrition, you can really set yourself up for failure. That was right into the microphone. But I think, so when I did steaks and I was still trying to cut water, I really was just doing that for dots. I was going to make weight, no problem, but I really just wanted that dot score to be higher. So that morning when I woke up, I drank 6 ounces of water and ate a banana. So you're getting some more your vitamins and stuff in there, flushing that out with a little bit of water, nothing crazy. And then I have a few examples of things to eat and things not to eat. So remember how we talked about salt manipulation? Do not drink any hydration drinks 3, 2, or 1 day out or before you weigh in, because all high quality, good hydration drinks are going to have a lot of sodium and they're going to make you hold water. So do not drink these before your meet or before weigh-ins. After weigh-ins though, recommend Kennesaw Barbell has LMNT. They send us out stuff. They just sent us out a few more boxes. We appreciate them. These guys are awesome, but they're not the only people.
We also believe a lot more in this product.
Yeah.
It is very efficaciously dosed.
Yeah.
And so actually studies show that an efficacious dose of salt is equal to the IVs people get for rehydration.
Equal for about Tren.
What do you say?
To Tren.
True.
Yeah.
But definitely recommend these after you weigh in and drinking them throughout the day. You can drink 2, 3 of these, no problem. But things like Pedialyte, things like that, you don't want to be drinking before you compete because they have sodium in them. You're going to hold water. Those are fantastic.
Before weigh-in.
Yeah, before weigh-in. Sorry, but also, so this is, I'm not going to say the brand because I don't know a lot about them enough to where I would recommend them to y'all. But this is a powdered carb. It's meant for marathon runners. So, but this does have 630 milligrams of sodium, which I know is not an efficacious dose, whatever, but it has 50 grams of carbs. So something that you can sip on throughout the day that's going to not be solid food. I think that's super important. This has 50 grams of carbs. For the average person, drinking this throughout the day will be perfectly fine. Now, for someone like me, a heavier weight, you may want to drink 2. Just by liquid carbs, 50 to 100 grams would be perfectly fine. Someone like Megan, that's a lightweight female, 3/4 of this, you'll be perfectly fine. So something like this.
Can I say my
something like this
weapon?
What?
If you watched what's in my gym bag, honey. So one thing I like, and this kind of goes on along with nutrition, is I like to be kind of as least amount of chemicals because a lot of people just bunch up on candy, and if you eat candy normally, that's fine. But for me, like that messes with my stomach.
Yeah,
raw, unprocessed honey. Nectar of the gods.
Yeah, so stuff like that. And also, you need to be
workout.
eating these things as you're training coming up to it. So this is not something I would take like first time because it may mess with your stomach because it is a lot of sugar. So, but a liquid or a powdered carb source that you can put in your gallon of water, awesome. Another thing, fast digesting sugars, like Matthew said, for some people it's great, some people it's not. Things like gummies, little pieces of candy. Do not buy chocolate. That is not what you want to be eating. That is high in fat, high in oil. And also, eating chocolate when you're competing just sounds terrible.
Think about that.
It just sounds terrible. But I have seen it. I have seen people do that. You don't need to be doing that.
Do not eat trail mix.
Okay, I'm getting into that. So, eat quick digesting carbs. If you look at the label and it's a lot of carbs, a lot of sugar added, that's fine, but also don't make yourself sick. You don't need to be eating a bunch of this. That's why your pre-workout meal, the meal that you eat in the beginning after weigh-ins, like that chicken and rice, that big heavy meal, that should be high in carbs. This is something that's easy to digest so that you can eat this throughout the day, not make yourself sick. That's it. Another thing that I like to eat is a lot of fruit. Fruit has a lot of natural sugar. It's really easy to digest. You're going to have a lot of fiber running through your system, which is going to be good. One thing that I found, they don't taste very good, but That's It bar. I ate these for my Ed camera just died. But I ate those before. Oh,
Y'all, you keep going, keep going.
But I ate they're literally the only ingredients are apples and mangoes. They're just dried, no sugar added, things like that. Those are great. Some things you do not want to be eating and you want to avoid: foods high in fat. People, when you are eating carbohydrates, those carbohydrates start digesting by the saliva in your mouth. By the time they reach your stomach, they will be almost fully digested. Fats are not digested until they reach your stomach. These foods are going to be sitting in your stomach, take a long time to digest. Also, you do not use fat as your main energy source when you're doing these type of things. You are using that glycogen storages within your muscles that's going to be replaced by those fast-acting sugars and those carbohydrates. Do not eat things like trail mix or cashews. Do not eat nuts like the peanuts, almonds.
You are nuts if you eat nuts.
Yeah, but don't eat foods high in fat. A lot of people are like, "Oh, trail mix, great! Like it's like a great snack." It's not. Don't do that. Don't eat chocolate. That's also high in oils, things like that. Some protein bars are fine. You do want a little bit of protein. I did not have these here, but beef jerky.
So
awesome.
valid.
Eat a few pieces of beef jerky throughout the day. You don't want your protein running to zero. You don't want to just be eating carbs. Your body's going to freak out. So you want to also, eat some of that. But yeah, eat foods that you enjoy eating, are going to come easy to you because you've been eating them before. Don't throw anything super crazy in there that you've never eaten before. So yeah, that's my kind of spill coming from a nutritionist that specializes in powerlifting, things like that. And what I've had, the few athletes that I've helped do that, like my sister, Corinne, all that stuff. And a few others. I have Drew's dad, which is going to nationals in about 2 weeks. We're coming up with a plan for that. And obviously it's way different. He is a 145 kilo man. He's going to be eating a lot more food. His pre-workout meals are going to be a lot more than all of us are. So yeah, it's super interesting. But yeah, just kind of go based off your body weight. Don't go super crazy, but you should be eating quite a bit of carbs. You need to be eating those carbs throughout the whole day. Those sugars, fruit's great, things like that. Bagel every once in a while, depending on how big you are. For me, I can eat a 250 calorie bagel and be able to digest that fine because I'm bigger. But for someone like Megan, that's almost like a whole meal sometimes. It's eating like a whole bagel.
Right.
So it's different for everyone. But I'm done.
No, you're good. I didn't mean to.
No, you're good. That's all I wanted to say.
No, like I'm just because 2 weeks out, like I'm going like planning and trying to get everything adjusted. I'm trying to drink a lot more water recently. Yeah. Like I've used full transparency. I've used the bathroom at least 6 times a day just peeing.
Yep.
Like I'm trying to get at least roughly a liter in me every hour. Yeah, obviously here and there, but like I'm trying to get a lot more water in me. I've got 2 Heal Mix bottles. I'm trying to keep filled always at a moment's notice because I'll typically, if I find myself thirsty, I'll normally chug a whole bottle straight there and then, and keep another one on me to have it ready. And,
strapped.
Yeah, I keep it on me. But like meet day, I'm all right because we're flying out to Arizona. I'm like, all right, having a plan. Like, all right, what food am I gonna get? And how am I gonna get situated with it? And like it depends on sometimes. If there's like a place around town that I'd feel like, all right, I'd be comfortable ordering this and like eating slowly after weigh-ins, or what I'm gonna get from a grocery store, like a big one's normally bagels.
Bagels are awesome.
Awesome, Brown put me on this. It's probably not the best thing, but I've actually enjoyed it.
Oh, it's gross.
It's bagels and pimento cheese, and I know
it sounds. What flavor of bagel?
You can do plain or like everything. I normally do plain. Just because
you and Jackson did that, and I almost threw up watching.
Do you not like pimento cheese?
No, I hate curly things.
Well, yeah. Anyways, that's been like pimento cheese is probably a better option than that because obviously they're like kind of sometimes can be oily depending where you get in and stuff. But like the bagel itself is like really just you've already talked about the bagels are awesome.
Let me say something real quick.
Yeah,
bagels with a banana and honey on it is probably the best pre-workout meal with a little bit of salt on it. Probably the best pre-workout meal you could possibly ask for because the bagel's going to have a little bit of protein in it. You're going to have a lot of carbs, a lot of fast digesting carbs. The fruit, you're going to have the vitamins and minerals from that. Perfect. And the honey, also super awesome for you. But yeah.
No, yeah, I was about just, not a big banana guy, but we used to always do,
it's not what you told me.
Used to be big on like peanut butter honey sandwiches.
He's a little bit of a guy.
used to be like peanut butter and honey sandwiches. We used to get a loaf, like just full loaf of like bread, and we'd make the entire thing peanut butter honey sandwiches and just leave them in the loaf and like bring them with us. Because like I would eat, dad and sister would eat as they like handle or if they're training at the same time or competing at the same time, we'd have those. But like trying to prep everything for that, I'm probably gonna get bagels, more pimento cheese, and finding like snacks to go with. I'm a candy guy. Like honey, obviously fantastic, but I'd love getting the 2-pound bag of Sour Patch Kids watermelons.
Yeah, Nerds clusters. And I had those.
Oh, the clusters.
Yeah,
nice.
And I had those at her meet. I mean, those are good. Like it's a fun little treat.
A little treat.
Who needs a 6-pack when you can eat a little treat?
But like that's one. I like having something like sour.
Yeah,
I like having that little.
The flavors are nothing on my tongue.
That's crazy.
Because like I love just prepping for that and trying to get all my water up and stuff more, getting everything. Really, the big thing on water is like getting body weight up right now because got sick a couple weeks ago, lost a lot of body weight again, and now trying to fill up my weight class again and getting back up there. Got back up to 92 kilos today, which was really nice. But want to get up to about 94, 95 by next week. Probably by like Monday, Tuesday would be awesome. And then play all right, now we're going to start playing the games a little bit, manipulating a couple things here and there, the water, salt, carbs, and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I'm just getting excited.
Yeah, but nutrition is super important. And the people that go in blind to it, it's hard because nutrition is one of those things where I feel like a lot of people think they know what the hell they're talking about. And in reality, they don't because they've heard some guy on TikTok be like, eat a banana. There's vitamin C in it. They're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. But, it's super important. Do your own research. Yeah. But I mean, do your own research. Find what works best for you. Just recommend staying away from fats. Get a little bit of protein, a lot of carbs, and your body will be probably pretty happy. and stay with similar foods. Just don't overcomplicate it. Yeah, it's kind of a basic breakdown for me.
So I think they're almost as important as nutrition, maybe equally. We talked about a meet day plan. You need a good handler.
I'm about to go on a rant.
So
you're both on this.
This is a long episode. So
I'm having fun.
Yeah, this is a good.
Like, I'm just don't want to be with us. That's cool.
I just have to pee again, to be honest.
That's crazy.
So
my bladder must be way bigger than y'all's is.
anyway, talking about having a good handler. A handler is the person that you choose to trust, see out your meet.
Yep.
So this is someone that needs to know you, needs to know your training, know your numbers, know your mental, and know powerlifting. So like the reason I put the handler in such a high position is because they can make or break your day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I handled Austin this weekend, and when I handle, I've found a rack, and that's my rack. Right? I'll share with the team, but like we are gatekeeping that rack. Yeah, you know what? That might not be fair. There's 5 other racks. Go get one. We've got 6 people. I'm kind of saw on this rack. That's our rack. Okay. Next, know your kilos. Know each jump. Know each warm up. The way a warm up rack typically goes is it kind of goes in a circle, right? Everyone hits the bar, and then one guy has us go on. You need to be fast. I do not have time to sit and wait for you putter around. Don't come up to me and whisper what you want on the bar. First of all, I'm not your handler.
Also, don't come up and talk to me.
Yeah. Don't talk to the lifter while they're warming.
First of all, I am not your handler. I'm handling one person.
Mm-hmm.
If you need something, you tell me, right? I'm going to say, what do you need on the bar? Don't come up. Don't be all shy. Don't whisper to me. Can I get
don't
expect
me to load your bar for your athlete. No, you hop in there in the rotation.
Exactly. Now, the warm room is crucial. You have to know your timing, right? So a big thing is people ask me, I had maybe 8 people ask me this weekend, when should I warm up? I don't know. I'm not your handler. And I don't mean to be rude, but the reason I say that is because I have someone that I'm already taking care of, right? Mm-hmm. So I have to know, I give about a minute per lifter. I have to deduct that time, the 10-minute breaks in between. How many flights are there? How long does my lifter take to get ready? Is he going to have to go to the bathroom?
I'm a slow warm up.
Right.
Versus and I also got to pee all the time.
I'm pretty quick. I almost have to pee in between every attempt.
Yesterday, I did pee after every attempt, I think.
Literally every warm-up.
Right.
Yeah. Like, I got to pee real quick. And at States, it was like a jog. Bro. I got so many steps.
Same. Well, yesterday at MBB, after every deadlift attempt, I went pee.
Yeah.
Because I, pre's in my system, I'm peeing, brother.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so that's the first part of the handler is, they're going to take care of you in the warm-up room. When I'm competing, I don't want to know anything. I have my headphones on, and it's, hey, come hit this. Okay, back on. Hey, come hit this. Hey, we're going.
This was my favorite.
Yeah. When coach yells at me.
Hey, we're going to the platform.
Yeah.
It's your turn. Give me 2 lifters before. Let me get my gear on, and I'm ready.
The lifter shouldn't have.
So let me get my gear in.
Next, I hit the lift. I
gear in.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
Let me get my
the bathroom.
Gear in.
Why do you think I'm in the bathroom so much? Now, after the platform, right? I hit my lift. The lifter doesn't go to the table, okay?
Yeah.
I go to my coach immediately. He goes, 1 to 10, how was it? Or how do you feel?
Yeah.
I know my numbers. We've talked about it. Hey, let's do the next jump. He goes and does that. I go sit down. Come hit your next one. That's how it goes.
Can I say one funny story really quick? So, my second attempt.
This is not quick.
Bench. No,
I'm just kidding.
My second attempt bench at States, my last meet, Drew was handling me. Bless up to Drew. Drew was never done me wrong. But I hit 396, and it was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. And it was kind of slow. The pauses were a little bit longer. And basically, my body was freaking out. I was kind of shaking, kind of freaking out, needed food, really bad. And I literally sat down and yelled at Drew. And I was like, I need food. I need something. My body, I was sitting in the chair, just shaking. And I was I was freaking out. And I was nervous because it was something I'd never felt before. And I thought I was having a heart attack, all this stuff. And I swear, I'll never forget this. Drew says, what do you need? I said, I need food. And he, boom, without saying anything. Yeah. Immediately, boom, runs. And I look back and he's like, who has food? Runs, can't find my stuff, and then runs and steals stuff from Eli. Eli has it was Sam, not Eli. Sam. He runs up to Sam, grabs his gummy bears, and runs over to me. It was like, all right, I got these. And I'm like slamming gummy bears while Drew already has my third attempt in, running, finding me food, all of this stuff. So like, I just sat there in a chair. So back to that, like it's so awesome because me doing that by myself definitely would have messed up my third attempt. I would have been stressed out. I probably wouldn't have gotten food, and just like all this stuff. So it's just a funny story that any opportunity I have to tell it, it's because it's so funny. I'll never forget me saying that, and you didn't say anything. All it was, and just ran.
Yeah. And
So
like this week, my guy was like, I need water. And I had my gallon. I just start pouring my gallon into his. I'm like, take my water. Right?
Yeah.
You know, the lifter's job is to make weight and lift weight. That's it.
Yeah.
No other job. So I think that's big. But I think maybe the last component I have for handling, and I know Drew might have a couple of things too. Drew can kind of talk about those games you have to play.
Mm-hmm.
But the last thing is you need to meet your athlete where they are mentally. So Austin really likes to be hyped up. So I am slapping him. I'm getting him ready. I'm telling him what he needs to do. You need to execute like no games. And I'm serious. You know, that might not be how I lift, but like that's what you got to do for some people.
Mm-hmm.
You have to meet them there emotionally. Hey, something's kind of hurting. Tell me what hurts. Let me roll you out. I'm going to step on your back. Like something like that. Because I'm going to get them ready. I'm going to get them in that mindset they need to be. It's like you talk about that C-bone moment in the bathroom crying. It's like you have to be emotionally available for your athlete, right? It's like, here's how I'm feeling. Let's talk. Hey, you've done this. You've worked so hard. I believe in you, man.
Leave it all on the platform.
Leave it
like
all. Like
this stuff.
fight. This is fight or flight, man. Like
I got chills thinking about it.
I
It's so exciting.
So that's the part as a handler too. It's just like you got to be there for them, man.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to know. You have to have a plan. But it's also like you celebrate the wins with them and you mourn the losses.
Mm-hmm.
But you keep them going. You can't. You can't leave them behind. Man, you know, Austin, his second time on bench didn't go as well as we wanted. I was like, look, you get your shit together. You get in the zone. Don't worry about what's on the bar. Just lift it. All right? And he locks in. He does it. He gets his third. Now, was I yelling, watch the head, whatever? Yeah. But that's also part of it. So I'll hand the torch to Drew here because Drew knows the game.
Drew has the most experience with this for sure.
So, I mean, like they've explained a lot of it, and sure, it's like knowing your athlete is huge. Like this is the second time I've handled Megan, and the first time being States, at first it was all right, we're getting pissed off, let's go, let's kill some people.
Yeah.
And it was we learned early on, like squats, it was kind of like, you know what, Megan kind of was like, yo man, I'm here to have fun. And like she's kind of chilling. She kind of got that chillax attitude. I'm like, all right, now I need to flip it over to all right, you know what, man, let's have fun today. Let's have a good day.
For sure.
I realized that going into this meet, she's not the like I want to kill someone me, and that's cool. Everybody's different. Like me, like I'm kind of really getting excited, and I feel like excited is a bad term to put what I'm about to say. Like,
I know.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like I'm getting ready for my meet. I'm like, to me, it's a different mindset than others. I guess I think you're in the same boat as me, or maybe I don't know where you
similar.
are. There's no exceptions. It's this weight has to move. It's to me, it's almost like obviously there for fun, but to me, I'm not there to have a good time. I'm there to do my job and get this work done. I'm there to lift weights, and obviously everybody's different. But to me, I'm ready to do whatever I have to now. If I'm gonna die on the platform, I'm gonna die on the platform. If I'm getting that mental, like I'm gonna kill whatever's in front of me. Not the healthiest thing in the world. I think we talked about this on our mental episode.
But you're doing it once, maybe twice a year.
Yeah, mine's a bit too often, I'll be honest. And we talked about that, but it's knowing your handler and stuff, and it's a big deal. And they kind of mentioned like the games and stuff. I've loved it. That's the most fun thing ever is the games. You don't get it as much at local meets, which kind of sucks. But when you go to nationals, I'll be there either competing, which is fun. But when you're a coach playing the games, they're handlers. So like my dad and sister both compete, and they're both they're the world's level. They're went to Worlds last year, and they're already planning on it this year. Going there and like the nationals and playing the games, like Catherine, last year she was up against this girl, and they were in the same division, but they were the same age group and they were the same weight class. But Catherine was in the open division, and they're still against each other. They know each other. They're like, yeah, we're going against each other, and we're playing. James was there, so he was the one really handling it. But just sitting there, like playing the games and like all these coaches, you're sitting on the scores table by third deadlifts and you're playing all these different games with people of one, like putting in so you have 2 changes after you put your first deadlift in. And it's like, you'll know ahead of time, like, all right, I'm going to put something stupid in firsthand. That way I already have 2 changes ready to go of like, all right, Captain, we're going to deadlift 385. Like, and that, 396 is the world record, but we put like,
wow, I was thinking keys for a minute, and I was like,
yeah, no,
what?
Not that crazy. Like something,
It's like,
where
that's
the
impossible.
other athlete is sitting there like, that's insane, but also not like she's putting 8.
So I have a good example of this.
Yeah.
So the guy I was kind of going up against at States is actually coached by Drew's coach, and my coach is coached by Drew's coach. And so she was like, "Do you want to mess with him?" I'm like, "Of course I want to mess with him. Like, come on." So, and this is in kilos, but we put my third attempt deadlift at 255, which is 562. I wasn't hitting that.
That's insane.
What that did is that made the other guy drop his weight to feel comfortable for the victory. To think, if Matthew's going for 565, no way. Well, then we dropped to 250. Still didn't hit it. But it still caused him to change his weight. So if I had hit 250, I would have won. So it's just kind of learning that thing of like, it's kind of like poker. It's a bait and switch the whole time, but it gets really intense. And so like, again, as an athlete, you can't be doing that. Yeah. That's why you have a good handler.
Yep.
I mean, like, it's almost like a play of chicken. And like, this is where I was going to the,
who's going to bail out
deadlift is the, all right, just put what's on the bar. Like, some people have that mindset. That's why I'm like, you're 8 for 8, just put it on. And I think that's where you have to have that connection with your coach sometimes of like, hey, you know what? I want it. Whatever it is, like, we'll set up like 3 goals of like a nationals meet. And like, one of them will be like, I want to beat this guy specifically, or say, I want to be this place no matter what. And so you kind of have to have that trust on the coach and be like, all right, it's a, you put whatever on that bar, I got to do. It's a, hey, I trust you as my coach and you know what to do. Just tell me what it is when I go up there. Because, I mean, I got to know the weight or else I'll sit there doing math.
I didn't know.
Yeah, some people, they don't care to know. But like me, it's a, I'll look at the bar and try to run the math.
Well, like getting
my
deep
squat,
enough.
I had no idea.
Getting deep enough into the sport.
No idea.
Yeah.
Getting deep enough into the sport is like, I only train with kilos. So like, now I know what's on the bar. But like the first 2 meets, I only trained pounds. And I was like, cool, 4 red circles. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I mean, I need to know it. Not only that, it's a mental switch of, all right, I got to put 660 on this deadlift in order to make the world cool. I'm about to just destroy this weight. It's about to happen. I don't care what the number is. That's where that mental block comes in. That's where I think you got to change mentally of being afraid. So like when we deadlifted that one time and I went crazy off program and I did about 600 for a single, that was the first time in almost a year where I wasn't afraid of the weight. Like, because my back injury and stuff, it kind of tweaked me a little bit and all that fun jazz. But I went way off program. Don't ever do it. But it was like first time in forever. I'm like, I wasn't afraid to actually get this bar. And that was a huge mental switch for me in over a year. And that's why I told my coach, like, he was pissed off at me naturally. You should never do that. You should never do that. But I told him, like, I had to do this today. It was not had to. You shouldn't ever do it. But I was like, this is the first time in forever I wasn't afraid to wait. And I haven't felt that in so long. I'm like, we're putting this on. Like 5 reds didn't look like 5 reds on the bar. It didn't look like it was a tire. It looked like it was 2 plates on there. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm ready to go now. And having that for meet day, like I'm excited for that to come back. Because normally meet days when that happens, I'm like, yeah, it's time.
Right.
And I haven't had that in a while again since the deadlift, so I'm like ready for like things to start clicking again. And I think it's about time if I'm 10 days out now. So I'm ready for that to click a little bit faster. But
we need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long has this been going?
We're like an hour and a half, I think.
Yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, guys, that's kind of our little
nutrition,
handling, how to be ready for a meet. You know, honestly, like we just want people to have successful meets, kind of no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, as much as we are the biggest haters, we're the biggest supporters. So yeah, let us know if you guys have any further questions. We post Wednesdays and Saturdays in the morning, whenever Spotify wants to post for us. So
YouTube tomorrow.
I haven't done it yet. Probably 8 in the morning.
Okay.
I want people
Well,
to
I
have
figured
it.
you haven't done it now.
Yeah, we're still recording.
But
I like people to have it for their work. So yeah, you can find him at Noah Ray Lifts, him at the Berserker, me at Alp 82.5.
Tune in because there's going to be a PR today.
Us at the 225 podcast on Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. TikTok.
no, we don't.
Yeah, subscribe to us on Snapchat. But anyway, yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed today, and we will see you in the next one.
Thank y'all so much. Bye.